Ilia Topuria against Islam Makhachev. Now, this fight is very interesting and it is also frequently discussed, especially after Ilia beat Alexander Volkanovski. And in this video, I want to share my thoughts, what I think will happen if these guys actually fight each other, and I'm gonna also discuss the strengths of each and one of them. So I'm gonna discuss what are the strengths of Islam Makhachev and what kind of weaknesses he also has, and I'm gonna also discuss Ilia's strengths and weaknesses. Let's begin with the fact that this fight actually might happen. It's a huge fight. Both of these guys are very dominant, and it is quite possible, if they both keep winning, that we're gonna see them fight in 1 or 2 years. Now let's go ahead and start with the strengths of Islam Makhachev. Now this guy, first of all, let's begin with this aura, this crazy Dagestani mindset. We see these guys as they are something different, that they are like aliens, they are simply much better than everyone else. And this aura that they have, of course, was created by Khabib after he had such a good run, especially in the later years. He did create this aura that these guys are something out of this world. And this is partially true. Of course, they have a different work ethic, just because the fact that they do not really drink, they don't do any drugs, they already have a huge advantage over guys like Conor, who enjoys drinking, smoking, and so on. Like, for them, fun part of their life is simply much less interesting than for guys like Conor. That means that they have a better work ethic. That means that they are able to push harder, and of course they have more to lose. In order for them to get a better life quality, they have to win. There is no other question. It's not about having fun on that and I'm just gonna go ahead and have fun in octagon. No, you gotta win. So they definitely have a completely different mindset. They are much more serious when they fight. The other thing is that Islam Makhachev is taller, he's physically bigger, he's very muscular, he doesn't have, of course, any unnecessary fat, and he has these physical advantages over Ilia. He's not only taller, but he's definitely not also he's not like Sean O'Malley, even though he's tall, he does not have any real muscle mass, so it's not like that. Islam is not only tall, but he is also physically very muscular and strong. The other thing is that he has a really damn good kicks, especially compared to Khabib. Khabib was also a great champion, but he never really used kicks that much. And unlike Islam, this guy kicks a lot, and he's also capable to kick really damn well. And we know that Ilia is very vulnerable when somebody kicks him in the head. Well, first of all, he's short, and that already makes everything harder. The other thing is that he uses this boxing stance where he's really low, and he's always trying to slip punches. And that's of course good in boxing, but when you are going against guys in MMA, they might hit you with a leg. So that is the downside. But other thing is that Ilia is also completely aware of this weakness, and if you see his last fight, you can see that all of his opponents, like Bryce Mitchell, tried to kick him in the head. Volkanovski tried to kick him in the head, but they did not succeed because this guy trained for that explicitly. So his defense is definitely much better than it was previously. The other thing is that I personally do believe that Islam Makhachev has a better wrestling. Even though Ilia is physically also very strong, he is a tremendous grappler, BJJ black belt. he does not really have the same level of wrestling that Islam has. We saw that even Bryce Mitchell had the wrestling advantage in the first round, and just by looking at them, you can really see, like, if you compare Bryce Mitchell to Islam Makhachev, you can definitely see that Islam is simply much stronger. He is a better wrestler, and you can imagine that Islam will have a wrestling advantage. Now, that could be decreased, especially once time passes, because Ilia is still becoming better. I mean, he's not 35 years old. He's physically getting stronger. He will definitely fine-tune his wrestling if he fights Islam, but now, like currently, Islam has a wrestling advantage. The other thing, also very important, is a footwork advantage. I feel like Islam might be faster, he might be faster to close the distance, he might be faster to get out of the danger. I do believe that he has a better footwork. That's what I think are like advantages and strengths of Islam. Now let's go ahead and discuss the strengths which I think Ilia has. Let's begin with the very obvious one, boxing, including power, precision, speed, everything. I do believe that Ilia's boxing is noticeably, significantly better than Islam's. First of all, he does have a power which will slip everybody. I mean, maybe even welterweight guys. He hit so damn hard. Like, even if you compare him to Conor used to TKO people, he did not really knock them out unconsciously. They were like still awake. And when Ilia hits people, these guys, they just turn off. This is completely different power, and he just puts so much like torque in his punches and strikes that he's able to turn off basically everybody. And if he touches Islam, which might happen, he's gonna knock him out, that's for sure. The other thing is that his boxing defense, I mean, if they just trade punches, I feel like Ilia might also have a better boxing defense. His slips, his blocks, his parrying, all of them are really, really damn good. The other advantage which I think Ilia has is that I think he's actually more durable. We have seen Ilia fight really dangerous opponents: Josh Emmett, Alexander Volkanovski, Jai Herbert, Ryan Hall, like really many dangerous opponents, and he showed in every fight that he is very, very durable. Even if he gets hit clean, he has the ability to keep going, to keep fighting. And the fact that he has never been knocked out, it means that he still has this like healthy brain which will keep him awake. I mean, it's like if you get knocked out frequently, the possibility that you will get knocked out more, it's higher, right? And because Ilia has never been knocked out, it means that he might have like more research, more brain health in reserve. The other thing is that Ilia is of course younger. He's only 27 years old, as I remember, while Makhachev is already 32 years old. And we will definitely not see this fight like in 6 months or something. It's very unlikely. So if they fight in 1 or 2 years, they're gonna be slightly different fighters. Especially if you look at Ilia's past performances, you can see that every fight he gets better. Power is getting better, defense is getting better, his low kicks are better, everything is better. He's more patient, he fights smarter, he gets better and better. While Islam, I think, definitely hit his peak, and I don't really think that he will get any better anytime soon. He's already really good, but he does not really have that much room for improvement like Ilia. Right. The other thing is that Ilia also has this undefeated mentality. I mean, he never lost a fight. He's 15-0. If we're talking about this Dagestani like mythical mindset. Ilia also has that because he's undefeated, and undefeated guys just tick different. They have different confidence. They just are so confident in their abilities, and they might seem sometimes arrogant, but it helps them to perform better. So these psychological advantages, both of these guys have them, and it can be very, very effective and very helpful, especially if they fight. If they fight and Ilia is still undefeated, it might give him some kind of edge. Right, it's a very interesting fight. Now that I talked about the strengths of these guys, I will also give a prediction. Now it is a bit fun prediction. It's not very serious in terms of we don't really know if this fight will actually happen, but if it happens, I do believe that Ilia actually has an advantage, because I'm seeing so much improvement every single fight that I just have the belief that he has that ability to become something very, very special, and he has the ability to break this superiority of Dagestani fighters. He has that ability, and especially nowadays I know that most of the people do think that Islam has an advantage, especially considering that he's a lightweight and Ilia is a natural featherweight, but I think that people will see things differently in 1 or 2 years, because I'm completely sure that Ilia will keep winning and he will get better. This is a very interesting fight which I would love to see. Ciao.